Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Great to be here with you. It's interesting as we started discussing what could be the opportunities as we are trying to foresee or trying to anticipate what is next in our market, what is next in our business. So one of the things that we've always discussed is how can we create something new? How can we bring something different? When we talk about insurance, we're usually talking about terms and conditions and coverage. And how can we move beyond that? I mean, that's very old and outdated, and usually, for a part of it, most of the people are not really so concerned about what is in the coverage, because when you think about it, it's when are you going to use it, especially when something happens, or something out of the extraordinary happens and you need that coverage specifically. So going back and forth, and we're talking to Disney, and it's interesting that the idea came, how can we bring experience to the table? So how can we create something new, something different that would actually enhance the experience that we're providing to customers and clients? And it's great to be here with Camila. Camila is the head of distribution at Disney Plus in Brazil, and it will be great to hear a bit of also her and her points of view on how this was something also interesting for Disney. So, Camila, share a few thoughts with us.
Thank you for the introduction, Edu. It's a pleasure to be here. Great to see everyone and be part of this construction of the future. At a first glance, you must be asking, why Disney Plus? What are you doing over here? But when you think that Disney Plus is not just a streaming platform, it's a connection that brings emotion to millions of houses every day. When a new child discovers his hero, that's trust being built. So when you think that insurance is trust, it starts to make sense, right?
Yeah, and I was looking this morning of something. Usually, you associate Disney with something great, with something amazing, and we thought this is exactly going on the other hand of what insurance is. Sometimes it's a bit boring. We've been in this market for quite a while, and I can tell you that much by heart. So we thought, how can we redesign something that is valuable to the customer? And most of the people, as we had the opportunity to discuss in another panel, most of the people don't think about insurance on your daily life or daily routine. And this is somehow an opportunity to actually come to the client, come to the customer with different perspective. So trying to understand who's the customer, what are the customer's needs, and how can you somehow provide that a customer with something new, with something different? How can we understand better what are their what do they aspire? What do they need? What are they looking for? And if we think about it, what was Disney Plus prior to COVID? Disney Plus started in 2019, at the end of 2019. You guys probably knew about COVID at first hand, so I'm just making a joke, but they were right there, and then at the right moment, at the right time, where people's needs changed. And to respond to that in a different way is very interesting. So we're talking about a market that did not exist for Disney before 2019.
You're right, Edu. Disney is a brand built on storytelling, and Disney Plus is a platform to deliver those stories to the customer. But let's take a look to this customer that we are talking about here. They don't want to buy an insurance and call their brokers once a year. They want experience, and they want to feel safe. And they don't want just to do a transaction. They want to have a connection. And that's where Disney Plus has to sum up in this equation.
Yeah, so we try to think of what's the next level, what's the next step for most of these customers, and when you think about, it's not only the experience that we are providing, thinking about reshifting the way that you look at insurance and the way that you look at how you can achieve a valuable time of that customer. Most of the time, our time is taken away, no matter what. And what we try to do is try to have the right speech at the right moment, at the right time. Reason why we've been working quite a lot with other players, especially in the Brazilian market, that have the valuable time of that customer, such as PicPay, as we were able to talk about it yesterday, and other also other partners that we have. Most of the time, the insurance discussion is not something that the client is looking for, but the client's looking for credit, the client's looking for their dreams, and how can we be a part of what they dream? It's tough when you're an insurance company, so how can we rethink that? And that was the reason why we went looking for Disney as a streaming, and we're always trying to discuss what is next. So what is the next step? And what do you think is the next step when it comes to not only streaming, but experience, but customer behavior, and what are the next expectations, and what are you guys looking at this point?
Well, at this point, customers are looking for deep personalization and flexibility and trust. I'll be very firm about it because we need to address this need. Kovr is reimagining insurance and changing the way people see it. We are blending it into everyday's life, like we have life insurance that we just launched, a credit card insurance. And in the middle of the customer journey, we have these opportunities to blend Disney IPs, who knows Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, you name it, you name your favorite, and your favorite character is giving you this trust feeling that you need.
So what could we now taking along with that, Camila? What could we learn with Disney and from Disney when it comes to using data, information to try to understand who is the customer, what they're looking at, what kind of content that client is more interested on, what is the portfolio that you have to offer? So you mentioned, not only streaming, but also car insurance, life insurance, other insurance products that can come along. How can we understand better the customer, use better our data analytics to try to deliver what the client actually wants? And I know you guys are working with content all the time, shifting back and forth the content, trying to understand how you're gonna get that specific time for the customer, so that some kind of, you're gonna hook it and bring it to the streaming. So how can we learn from it?
Yeah, you're right. Disney is obsessed with the client and client experience and customer journey. We are really obsessed about it. You see that there are many studies in the platform which titles position perform better. And we know, for example, that a man who watches football in ESPN, after that, he's going to consume something from Marvel. It's like the journey that we see, and we can use that in communications as well. But the biggest point here is that we just don't provide the solution or the product. You have the entire experience, online and offline. Disney is a company made for magic and for emotion and connection. We can have online and offline activations using all the power of communications that Disney has. I think this is the biggest shift.
Yeah, and this is interesting how you're using your data to actually trying to see what can be anticipated. How can you work around maintaining that client attracted to the content that you have to offer. And it's pretty much the same thing when we're talking about insurance. So when we started developing and thinking about what could be the next steps, as we were working on one of our partners, we're looking at the wallet protection, then credit card protection, then we're protecting the online interactions, then we were protecting the device that most of the online the online was the interaction was going through, and so you're moving beyond somehow trying to be on a storytelling structure. And this is interesting to say that if we are always concerned about what are the next opportunities, what can we build new, how can we bring something new, it's beyond technology itself. Is how can we think like the customer and engage the customer and enchanted. Yeah. So, and Disney is great on enchanting the customer, and this is something that I would say it's tough for an insurance company to create that that type of relationship with our clients. So, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, insurance still has this legend that it's a transactional thing and not an emotion connection, and that's why Disney is in this equation to bring the emotion to the talk. I see that in terms of new partnerships, there are a long list of things that we could do. Imagine, for instance, you are booking your trip to Disney and purchasing your travel insurance with that. You have a million of opportunities here.
Yeah, so she's anticipating a few things that we're actually discussing, and we do believe that could be great opportunities as we move beyond. And one of the things that we also it's amazing to see is the way that Disney is always working on these experiences. So once we started developing business with Disney, other opportunities came along. And one of the things that we are actually doing right now is studying how can we help also Disney to improve their distribution. And with that on mind, we've talked a lot, Camila, but how can we, as a Kovr and our structure, as we've invested in technology, we've invested in seamless journeys, with an easy access and everything, how can we enhance even more what's Disney's distribution when it comes to streaming?
Perfect. We have a long-lasting relationship with telcos that are the main content providers to our customers nowadays, but we started to think about what else we could do. What were the other opportunities to get into people's daily life? And insurance was one of the main topics that appeared, mostly because of the complementary audience that we see, where you can build trust, you can build a relationship. It was obvious for us, but Kovr appeared as the perfect partner, as you were mentioning. We found all our needs covered, especially in terms of technology. We needed a seamless customer journey. We have researchers that states that customers are willing to go through 3 to 6 screens to make a purchase. We needed to do that and implement that, and Kovr was very happy implementing it. But I see that now you have all the flexibility that we have to dream big, and with Disney Emotion and Kovr technology, we can go through and find other partners to implement the distribution, to increase the distribution.
So Disney's partnership with an insurance company was the first in the world, and we were very happy to be the first company to actually bring this to the insurance market. And as we look to the future, we are always keen and concerned to bring always something new, trying to see what is next and what can be done. So these talks that we're having with Disney is ways that we can not only learn with them, how can we enhance the relationship that we have with the clients, trying to enchant the clients, trying to captivate the clients somehow, but try to work around understanding better the client. On the other hand, as we create with technology, with innovation, with new ideas, as we create opportunities as an insurance company to be close to the client, new things can come. And one great new thing that came from this partnership is that not only Kovr is taking advantage of having Disney Plus as a partner, but also Disney Plus is taking the advantage of having Kovr side by side to actually help them accelerate what is a very challenging goal that Disney Plus has to move along in the near future.
You're right. It is our first partnership with an insurance company. Brazil and Latam is always a testing ground for innovations and new business models that we have. We are learning a lot with this implementation, learning from how to negotiate and what are the price points, what are the main difference that we have from our previous models. It's been a journey, and it's a pleasure to do that with you.
Well, it's great to be here with you, sharing a bit of our views. And again, not just because we're born in insurance and we live and breathe insurance and also technology here, it's not a restraint that we have from move beyond and always challenge our thought process, trying to look for something new and new opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.